Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're going to jump in a time machine. Just a couple of years into the future. We're going to explore what monitoring your AI systems is really going to look like in 2026. And trust me, the old playbook, it's being thrown right out the window.
So here's what's on the docket. We'll set the stage in 2026. Then we're going to tear through the 5 critical areas of this new observability stack, from security all the way to this awesome concept called the vibe-to-value gap. Let's dive right in.
All right, go ahead and put on your future goggles. It's the year 2026, and you're a principal AI architect. Your job is, well, it's totally different now. You're not just making sure the servers are running anymore.
And this quote just nails it. We've got AI agents out there making autonomous decisions. We're running on super secure, confidential computing. So simple uptime? That's like dial-up modem thinking. Now we have to monitor intent. What is the AI trying to do? Integrity. Is it being tricked or compromised? And economics. Is it actually making financial sense? First up, security. In 2026, your firewall is just the welcome mat. The real fight is happening inside, against something called semantic hijacking. This is wild stuff. It's where attackers try to twist the meaning of your prompts to get the AI to do bad things.
And that brings us to our first key metric, your prompt injection rate, or PIR. Think of this as the silent alarm for your whole system. It's constantly counting how many times someone tries to jailbreak your model to get around its safety rules. This is the new front line.
Now, when we're talking about AI agents, things get even crazier. We have to track goal hijack detection. You've got to measure the gap between what the user originally wanted and what the agent actually does. Is it still on mission, or has it been led astray? Next up is a huge one, sensitive data disclosure. You absolutely need automated scanners watching every single thing your model says, making sure PII, the super sensitive stuff, or your company's secret sauce isn't accidentally leaking out into the world.
Okay, this next one is super interesting. Tool use entropy. It sounds complex, but it's simple. If your AI agent normally uses its tools in a predictable way and then suddenly starts acting erratically, calling them in weird orders, that's a massive red flag. It means it's been confused, or worse, someone's messing with it.
And for the really high-stakes workloads, you're tracking runtime attestation status. This is a hardcore security metric that proves your AI is running in a digital Fort Knox, a completely locked down, verified, and confidential computing environment. No funny business allowed.
Okay, let's switch gears to performance. We're past just measuring raw speed. In 2026, it's all about the vibe, the fluidity. How smooth and natural does the AI feel to the person using it?
So let's break down what that feels like in numbers. Time to first token needs to be under 200 milliseconds. We're talking instant. Then inter-token latency, the little pause between each word, has to be under 50 ms, so it flows like a real conversation, not buffering. And for anything complex, the whole round trip has to be under 2 seconds, or you've lost them. And here's a huge piece of that performance puzzle, our target cache hit ratio. We want more than 30% of our prompts to get a hit from our semantic cache. It's like the AI already knows the answer to a similar question it's heard before. This is a massive win for both speed and cost savings.
So, how do you boil all that down to one number? What's the true efficiency of your entire AI fleet? It's this formula right here, the throughput to latency ratio. It perfectly balances how much work you can get done with how fast you're getting it done.
Okay, so our AI is secure, it's fast, but is it reliable? Can we trust what it's saying? This is where we have to talk about groundedness, especially for those systems using retrieval augmented generation, RAG.
So, real quick, how does RAG work again? It's pretty simple. First, the system retrieves relevant info from your knowledge base. Second, it augments the user's question with all that juicy context. And finally, it generates an answer that's based on those facts it just found.
And why do we even do all this? Well, it's to fight the big bad boss of LLMs, hallucinations. When the AI just makes stuff up. So the metric we use to fight back is groundedness. We have to be able to prove that the AI's answer is directly tied to the documents it looked at.
So to make sure our RAG system is actually working, we're not just looking at one thing. We have a whole dashboard. We've got the main groundedness score, of course, but we also track recall. Did we find all the right documents? Context precision? Did we add a bunch of irrelevant junk? And semantic drift? Is our knowledge base getting old and crusty?
All right, let's talk about the bill. AI is expensive, right?
As an architect in 2026, managing the AI FinOps is a massive part of your job. You have to be a master of the unit economics.
And the way we think about cost has totally changed. We've moved on from just counting the cost per 1,000 tokens. That's just the price of the ingredients. What we care about now is the cost per outcome. How much did it cost to actually solve that customer's problem? That's the number that matters.
And a huge strategy here is smart model routing. You don't use a sledgehammer to crack a nut, right? Same idea. You want most of your simple requests, say 70%, going to a cheaper, faster model. You save the big, expensive flagship model for only the really tough problems.
And we're also watching things like the input/output token ratio. Is the model being way too chatty and wasting tokens? And the fallback rate. How often does our Jeep model fail and we have to call in the expensive cavalry? Both of these are key levers for keeping your budget in check.
Which brings us to our final, and maybe the most important concept of all. This is the ultimate gut check that makes sure all our other fancy metrics aren't just telling us a story we want to hear. It's the vibe-to-value gap.
And this right here is the truth bomb. Your dashboards can be green across the board, showing amazing performance, but if a real human being has to step in and fix the AI's work all the time, are you actually getting any value? That's why the human-in-the-loop intervention rate is the ultimate lie detector for your whole system. So there you have it. That's the world of AI monitoring in 2026. It's so much more than uptime. It's about intent, integrity, and economics. Which leaves us with one last question to chew on. Looking at what you're tracking today, how ready are you for what's coming?